10:35.
Hey, what's going on, YT? It's your girl, LB. I was thinking about when I was younger and bullying. That's what I was thinking about. You know, when I was younger, we didn't really call other kids picking on other kids bullying. You know, it just kind of didn't really call them anything. You know, it was just stuff that happened when I was younger. And I only started looking at what happened to me when I was younger as bullying once, you know, we coined the term in our society, you know, recently. So, all right, whatever. But yeah, I only started calling it, like, thinking about it as bullying until recently because, you know, that's just, like, rampant. So, I wanted to come on here and tell you about a situation that happened to me because I have about 3 bullying stories that happened to me when I was younger, and maybe 4. I just thought about one. And I guess it was bullying, so I just wanted to share my stories, you know, with you. We'll call these bedtime stories. Maybe they might be bedtime nightmares. I'm not sure, but we'll just see how it goes. It wasn't anything that major, I would say, but when you're a kid who's like in the 5th, 6th, 7th grade, because this is when that, like, my bullying happened, the bullying incidents happened, they're a big deal to you. And I think my main issue when I was younger is I didn't say anything to anybody about anything. I was very, very, very introverted, and I didn't share anything, and that probably has affected me to this day because I'm very cautious about what I share that's personal to me. Like, the only time I really share is with my cousin, who is my BFF cousin, and my husband. And I know that Nika is there if I need to share with her, but, you know, sometimes you just, you know, just want to keep certain things to yourself or only want to share them with certain people. But even though I know I got other people that I can, you know, I'm just very, very introverted. And people be like, oh, this happened in your childhood, you need to get over it. You know, the brain is a very tricky thing. I must say that. When stuff happens to you, things click in your brain. Sometimes they affect you, sometimes they don't, and sometimes they traumatize you. And you just can't undo you know, something that's traumatizing that happens to you. You can't undo the traumatized, okay? It has to be undone, probably by a professional. So anyway, okay, I was just looking at, I think I went cross-eyed for a second. My eyes look funny because anyway, it doesn't matter. You know how you're looking at the camera when you're trying to feel instead of looking in the camera like you're supposed to. But let's go ahead and talk about this. This happened when I was in the 6th grade. It was so terrible, y'all. Okay, so when I was in the 6th grade, when I was younger, really, I was a tomboy. I rode bikes, I rollerbladed. I'm talking about jumping off the curbs, trying to do tricks, all that kind of stuff. I played tetherball and I was nasty at it. Like, for real, I would beat anybody on the playground. I was like the #1 girl in my school for kickball. When I come up to the plate, that ball is going like all the way out there. You're gonna have to run. You know how when you come up to the plate and if you about that business, people back up when they see you, you know, because they're like, oh, she about to kick it so far, we're gonna have to back up because I'm gonna try to catch it. But then you wind up kicking it over your head. Like, that was me, okay? And the funny thing about it is I write with my left hand, but I kick with my left foot. So I think I had that extra strength, you know, that special strength. But my head is itching right there. But anyway, so yeah, so I was a tomboy, right? And but even though I was a tomboy, you know, I was into boys when I was younger. You know, like, into boys, like, I noticed boys. You know, I had crushes on boys and things like that. But of course, I was such a tomboy and such a child at that time, you know, in the 6th grade, that I couldn't just, you know, be trying to have no boyfriend. You know what I mean? Even though, like, kids in this day and age, they be having boyfriends. And, like, it's the area where you are, too, because I was in California, and I was in a little town in California. I think I was in Victorville. Y'all might know about Victorville in California, but when I was in Victorville back in the 90s, it wasn't that built up. Like, it wasn't a lot of stuff in Victorville. And if I'm not, No, okay, I jumped ahead to 7th grade. I think I was in Victorville, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Victorville, and I was in elementary school there. So anyway, if it wasn't Victorville, I'm telling you, we lived so many places. Y'all talking about Victorville, San Diego, Oakland, Berkeley, Mira Mesa, Paris, did I say San Francisco, Los Angeles? I mean, we lived everywhere. Everybody be like, was your family military? No, my parents were young and they didn't see the need in just staying put for somewhere, so they like to experience. So we just moved a lot of places, right? So anyway, my hair is shedding. Okay, so I was going to middle school, and the way this middle school was set up was, I mean, not middle school, but elementary school. It was so bomb, y'all. First of all the classes were in trailers, or were they called bungalows? Or I think they were called bungalows, but they were basically trailers. And you had to walk outside to your classes. And I think we had switched for math. I know we had switched for math. We might have switched for all our classes. Because I feel like my California curriculum was more advanced than my New Jersey curriculum. Like, we were doing stuff in California that I was doing in the 5th grade, but when I got to New Jersey, they was doing that stuff in the 8th grade. You know, it was crazy. But anyway, we had to walk outside to our classes, so we had a lot of space, and we had a huge playground. And we used to have recess in the 6th grade. I know, like, over here in Alabama, they don't do recess in the 6th grade no more, because where I am, the 6th grade is included in the middle school. Even though it's elementary, it's still with the 7th and 8th graders. So we used to have recess, so when recess would come, they would just let the whole school loose on the playground, and we would play whatever we wanted to play. Kickball, tetherball, those were the main 2 sports. You could walk around, you could socialize, whatever. But see, I used to go play kickball, so we went outside for recess, and I believe right after recess, it was lunch, because you want to go play, then you want to go eat, right? So the way we did it was we had to migrate to the lunch area. When you got to your lunch area, you had to sit in the row. I don't know what row I was sitting in, but I know we had designated rows. It was probably class rows, and we had to sit there, and we had to wait to go to lunch. And then when we got our lunch, we can go to these picnic tables that were outside and eat. Most of the time we did get to eat outside because it was nice in California, but I'm sure they had a cafeteria, but I can't remember it. But anyway, so I had this crush on this essay, right? Now, I call them an essay. Listen, I grew up with Mexicans, okay? Born in Oakland, well, really Berkeley Hospital, but we was living in Oakland. Born in California, raised half of my life in California. It was nothing but black, whites, and Mexicans, and we called them essays, okay? And they called themselves essays. So, but that's a different type of Mexican, okay? Every Mexican is not an essay, you know? And, they got a whole different swag about them. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if it's the same because I haven't been in California since 1995. But when I was there, this is the way it was, you know. And they have this swag, you know. It's really like what you see on TV. They wore their khaki pants. They wore their flannel shirts. They wore them funny round top Nikes and their shell toe Adidas. Like, that's how they dress. And there were just like that in my school, even at the young age. So there was this boy, oh my gosh, y'all. I just remember how I felt when I seen him. He was just so cute. And I like the Mexicans now. So I don't know who I told that I like this boy, but I told somebody. Anyway, whoever I told was not a close friend. And there was this group of girls that I had wanted to be friends with because they were the cool group of girls, right? And they were more advanced than I was. You know, they were pretty. It was a mix of black and Mexican girls, you know. They were just looking like they were in high school and we were only in the 6th grade. And, you know, I really wanted to be friends with them, but I wasn't going out of my way to be friends with them. But if they would talk to me, I would talk to them. Like I said, I was introverted and I was a tomboy. And they were not tomboys, okay? They don't play no sports. They don't do none of that kind of stuff. So, anyway, somebody told this boy that I had a crush on him and that I really liked him and that, you know, all of that stuff. So I was sitting at lunch and I was on my lunch line and I don't bother nobody and I don't talk to nobody for real. And this boy comes up to me, right? And he said something to the effect of, he's standing up and I'm sitting down. And he comes up to me, something to the effect of, do you like me? For some odd reason, in my naive mind, I said, yeah. Okay, we out in the middle of the playground lunch area in public, right? Now, I'm so engrossed in this boy. It's amazing that I remember this because I'm 32 years old, and this happened when I was, how old are you when you in the 6th grade? 11? You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Talk about traumatizing. Anyway, and this boy is standing over me, and we're in public, and I just zoned out or something. I don't know. I just went boy stupid, okay? And I said, yeah. And then he goes, so do you want to go out with me? Like asking me out to be his girlfriend. So I was like, yeah. You know what that dude did? He looked me dead in my face and said, I bet you do. And turned around about face and walked off, and everybody started laughing, y'all. Oh my gosh, like I died a little bit inside that day. Like as soon as he said that, I zoomed out, but I remember saving face and just being kind of like whatever. But for me to remember that, like I said, after 32 years of being on this earth, and that happened when I was 11, that messed me up, y'all. That was the meanest thing. One of the meanest things that had ever happened to me at that point. I could not believe that that dude did me that way in front of everybody. And listen, I never even had talked to this kid. I never even talked to him. Like, I didn't bother nobody. All I did was do my work, get straight A's, okay? Because I was a straight A student back then. Sorry, y'all, I got to get my hair prepared. Get straight A's and play, you know, ball, tether ball, kickball, basketball, whatever. And I didn't bother nobody. I wasn't mean to nobody. I didn't talk to nobody. I didn't even have no friends. I didn't have no friends. But he did me like that, y'all. And that was so messed up. But I feel like, you know, if we're going by today's standards, that was a form of public humiliation, deliberate public humiliation, which is a form of bullying. And it was just hurtful. You know, kids were mean back then and they're mean now. I don't know if things have changed that much. I think bullying has always been around. You know, this harassing other kids for no reason, picking on other kids for no reason. Let me tell you something, it has always been around, because this is only one story of several bedtime stories that I have about bullying. But the thing is that I believe that with social media, print media, television media, radio media, everything is more in your face, is more accessible. So although bullying has been around for a long time, we are not exposed to it because we have all these ways to communicate with each other. You see what I'm saying? And yeah, so I just think we know about it more, but I don't think that this is anything that's new. Okay, I think that this stuff has been going on. Kids have been victimized by this situation. But you know what? I will say this. You know, we didn't look at it like nothing when we were little. I was like, dang, that was messed up. And I went on about my day and I went to school. And I didn't say anything to my parents, you know. But I feel like I was tougher than most kids are today. I think this generation in general is just kind of soft. You know what I'm saying? And I think we had tougher skin back in the day. So something like that, although I was publicly humiliated and I was bullied, I took it like a champ. I took it like a champ, and I went back to school and I did my thing, and I pressed on. Now, yeah, we have some long-lasting effects of that situation, obviously, because it's very hard for me to come out of my shell. I'm very rough on the edges. I'm introverted. I don't have much words in public. You know, I talk here when I get on the YouTube, but if y'all see me one-to-one in person, it'd be a totally different story. Like, the guard be up. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, you've been through some things. That's what happened. But I don't know, y'all. It's just crazy that that was the worst thing ever. So anyway, I just wanted to come on here and share that with you guys. That's my first bedtime story for you guys, and I will come back with a couple more because there's some other things that happened that were worse than that, y'all. It's gonna get better. So until next time, YT, it's your girl LB. Peace.